Okay, I want to address something that's been coming up over and over and over again. The first purpose of the Second Amendment was to allow the people to meet unlawful force with like force. The first purpose was not to overthrow a tyrannical government. That's just some crazy shit that Jefferson was talking about, because Jefferson was really, he was insane is what he was, all right? Crime was a real thing. Alexander Hamilton, his family home was burned to the ground. That's in New York. It's upstate New York, but it's still New York. Washington, George Washington, had fought with Indians, I think it was about 20 years after, or before, something like 15 years after the Constitution was ratified. There was a city in New York that was raided, right? And that's just the Indians. And that's just in the civilized areas. There was actually worse out there. There was mostly French, but some British colonials as well. They'd run off into the forest and live like Indians, and then they'd come back and they'd kill a couple people, raid a homestead, and run back into the forest. Or they'd run south into one of the Carolinas. That was really a problem. Blackbeard operated out of North Carolina. Most people don't realize that. Blackbeard, Edward Teach, the pirate, operated quite openly out of North Carolina for 10 years, I think it was, before an expedition finally put him to death. Of course, this is before the Revolution, but these were real problems that people had to deal with. They were as real to these people as house fires are to us still. So I'm going to call out to all of my fellow Second Amendment supporters, whether you actually like me or not, stop talking about tyrannical government. That's not what it was for. Yes, there was a possibility of a tyrannical government forming. In the entire history of the United States, it's only happened a few times, and all of them, except for one, was entirely local. The one exception, was it tyrannical government? Was it rebellion? We'll argue about that later, okay? The first purpose of the Second Amendment was to enable the people to meet unlawful force with like force. Oh. Keep calm and mandatory carry on.